In this video today, we're going to be talking about my favorite picks for cases as far as CS2 investments go right now at this current time. We're talking about May of 2025, and obviously cases have been going really crazy lately, but even for the past couple of years, as I've started to focus more and more on cases, I've seen my success rate and my win rate of CS2 investments increase, but also the amount of money I've been able to make increasing as well. And that's why I continue to recommend CS2 cases as the S plus tier investment of the CS2 investing world to you guys. And you can start out by picking some of the right ones and picking some of my favorites right now. So hopefully you'll be able to learn some stuff from this video today and hopefully make some money as well. It's always my goal at the end of the day from all of these videos. But of course, first I just want to mention my cash trading business. If you guys are looking to sell any of your CS2 skins, turn them into cold hard cash, crypto, PayPal, any other payment method, definitely hit me up over on Twitter. It's going to be the first link in the description below. Discord is going to be linked down there as well. Steam, email, also find ways to get in touch with me. We buy pretty much anything and everything for the right price, but of course we like to get the big deals done. So if you have expensive skins, gloves, knives, bolt cases, maybe you want to sell your entire inventory, whatever, hit me up and we can probably get a deal done. And by selling to me, you're helping support me, my channel, and my content as well. Also, I'm thinking about, I streamed one time this week, but I do want to start streaming more and more on Twitch. So check out my Twitch down below as well. Drop a follow over there so you don't miss out on any of the streams. And also make sure you subscribe as well, because I think I saw like only 35% of people that watch these videos are subscribed. So we can definitely run these numbers up and get to 10K pretty quick. With that being said, let's get right into this video today. I'm going to go over some of my cases that are on the fringe a little bit, and then we'll get into some of my more favorite cases and my top picks later on in the video. But one of my kind of fringe or honorable mention case investments right now for sure is going to be the Recoil case. Now, the Recoil case is up 44% in the past month. So obviously this thing would have been a better investment at the beginning of the month than now, but still, I believe this is the cheapest case in all of CS2 right now, and it's 32 cents. Again, a month ago it was 23 cents, and I really think anything around 20 cents is insane for a case in the modern age. You can look around, you don't see any cases for 20 cents or even 30 cents anymore, and I think there's a reason. The fundamentals of cases are just too good. People love opening them too much. Any kind of case, whether it be active duty or rare or whatever, cases are just being opened up way too fast. The supply numbers are dropping way too fast for case prices to stay down that low. And yes, the Recoil case is going to have an insane supply. The Recoil case has been active duty during some of the most popular times in CS2 history, during some of the highest player base numbers in CS2 history, and obviously being active duty at those times means so many of these are getting dropped, but still the fundamentals and the long-term potential of cases are too good. And if and when Recoil does go from active duty to rare, it's going to go absolutely insane. And the thing about Recoil case too is that you can see its unboxing numbers. It is currently the least unboxed. Let me make sure I'm not covering this up. It is currently the least unboxed active duty case. It only 2.9 million of these unboxed in the past month. It's close to Fracture, it's close to the Kilowatt, but it is the least unboxed active duty. So there is some incentive there for Valve to be removing it next. Yeah, Fracture could be next as well, but I do think the two next cases to be removed will be Fracture and Recoil. And once Recoil goes into the rare pool, it's not going to go up fast. It's going to take time. It's going to be a slow grower over time. At least that's my thoughts. But still, years from now, 3, 4, 5 years from now, do I think the Recoil case is going to be 30 cents? No, I think it's going to be a lot more expensive than that. So that's one to keep an eye on. But like I said, I don't love that it just went up 44% in the past month, but still, cheapest case in the game. That's always going to be something good. We have the Chroma cases, Chroma 2 and Chroma 3. These are going to be up 15% and 15% both in the past month, which is pretty crazy. And they're both sitting at about that $4 price point. Now, obviously, Chroma cases are super fun to open. The Chroma finishes on knives are very sick. These ones are always going to have genuine demand. These ones are always going to be popular for, content creators and streamers and YouTubers and all that stuff. And those people have big audiences. They're going to be, showing those cases and their sick pulls and everything to people. And they're going to have genuine demand. And they're going to, continue to get opened up in big numbers. That's why I like the Chroma cases so much. You can see here their unboxing numbers when you look in the graphs. Don't look too insane. Chroma 2, 250,000 unboxed in the past month. And Chroma 3, 252,000. But when you remember that these cases are over $4 each, those unboxing numbers are honestly pretty impressive when the case is that expensive. So these ones have some very strong fundamentals. Now, obviously, the $4 price point does scare me a little bit, but still, these ones have been doing pretty well. We're up 82% in the past year on the Chroma 3, and I thought that was the Chroma 2. Here we have the Chroma 2, which is going to be up 68% in the past year. Now, again, compare that to a ton of other investments. Whatever you're invested in CS, stocks, crypto, whatever, 60-80% in a year, those are going to be absolutely insane. Now, does that mean Chroma 2 and Chroma 3 are going to do that again in this next year? Probably not. This was a pretty crazy year for cases, in these cases specifically, and as the price goes up, it's going to be harder and harder to maintain that level of gains, but still, I think these are some nice investments, but they're not necessarily my top choices right now. Prisma 1 case, also, this thing is up 20% in the past month, which is really crazy, and it's up 109% in the past year. It's been going absolutely insane, but the Prisma case unboxing numbers are starting to fall off a little bit. Now, 482,000, still insane. Prisma unboxing numbers are still very, very strong. But when you compare it to something like Prisma 2 with 567,000, I would just be leaning a little bit more towards the Prisma 2 at this point. But the Prisma 1 case is still a fine choice. It's still only like $1.40, $1.50. It's still relatively cheap. It still has a lot of growth ahead of it. But again, when you have that direct comparison to the Prisma 2, it's why I'm not necessarily going for Prisma 1 right now. But I do own a decent amount of Prisma 1, and they have been doing quite well. Now, Danger Zone is one that in the past I had this as one of my top choices, but this one has fallen off a little bit, to be honest. Now, it's still looking really, really good. Again, most cases have been doing well, up 18.7% in the past month. That's insane. This thing's up 118% in the past year, but look at the unboxing number fall off for here. For the Danger Zone, it's been even bigger. 393,000 unboxed for Danger Zone. Again, comparing that to Prisma 2, 567,000. Now, the interesting thing here is at certain points during 2024, Danger Zone was the most unboxed rare case. It was more unboxed in Prisma 2. It was like similar to Clutch, similar to Snakebite, stuff like that. But now, for whatever reason, the Danger Zone unboxing numbers have fallen off a little bit. Now, I don't know exactly why. I don't really care that much why. I'm just kind of looking at the numbers, looking at the fundamentals, trying to dive into this stuff. And yeah, Danger Zone price has increased, and I'm sure that's contributed to the numbers going down a little bit and stuff. But Danger Zone just doesn't have as impressive of fundamentals as it used to. So that's why Danger Zone is falling down my list a little bit. Now, again, Danger Zone is still absolutely insane. Hey, this thing's up 118%. It's more than doubled in the past year. People have been printing money with this thing, and I'm sure Danger Zone has even more gains to be had in the future because it's still a really, really cheap, rare case, and it still has, still being unboxed in the multiple hundred thousands per month. That's so crazy, but it's falling off a little bit for me. Now, as far as the more expensive cases go, we've still been seeing growth in these cases as well. Yeah, we're down a little bit from the peaks we saw a couple weeks ago when we had the peak market insanity, but hey, Operation Breakout case, all the gold or butterfly, this is always going to be a one-of-a-kind, unique case. People are always going to love it. It's always going to have crazy unboxing numbers. Again, you can go back and look here. Where's this thing at? Operation Breakout, 143,000 unboxed in the past month, and that's for a case that costs $11.35 on Steam. That is really, really, really crazy, really impressive. I don't know what this thing's done in the past year. It's up 41%, which is still good, especially for something that's this expensive, but you can see how the more expensive cases, their growth numbers do start to dampen a little bit, and that's why it's maybe not as exciting. Revolver case is another one that I really, really, really like. This is a case that I'm probably going to be buying pretty soon, even though I don't have this super high on my list. It's just a case that I don't have enough of. It's a case that I would like to own more of. It's sitting at around that $4 price point right now, up 13% in the past month. It's up 88% in the past year, so still some very, very nice growth. And again, this is one with some decent unboxing numbers, 150K in the past month for a case that's $4. That is still very, very strong. Again, this is going to be less than the Chroma 2, Chroma 3, those kind of cases at this price point, but the Revolver is just a little bit different. If you're looking for something different, it's still some really strong numbers. Now, getting into some of the ones that I like the most right now at this time, these are the cases that I would consider buying a little bit more. Spectrum 2. This thing is up 30% in the past month. Spectrum 2 also up 99% in the past year. We can take a look here. Spectrum 2 sitting at 329,000 of these cases unboxed. Again, this is, I believe, more than the Chroma 2, more than the Chroma 3, while it's at a similar price point. So to me, that is very, very, very impressive unboxing numbers, very impressive fundamentals. Yeah, I don't love the $4 price point. Yeah, I would like to have cheaper cases overall, but still, I don't think the Spectrum 2 is looking all that bad right now. And this is one that I would definitely strongly consider buying right now with the current price point, with the current fundamentals and unboxing numbers and everything that I see. This one does not look too bad. Again, I know these ones are going to be a little bit more controversial, but to me, the Fever case and the Gallery case are both ones that I would consider purchasing and ones that I am purchasing right now. Obviously, these are both cases that are tied loosely around that 80-cent price point because they are both in the Gallery right now, or in the Armory right now, but I do think that the Armory stuff is going to be rotated out eventually. I do think this stuff is going to be discontinued. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are saying, hey, well, I'm just going to wait to see if they actually get discontinued. I'm actually going to wait to see if they get rotated out and then start investing. And I think that's totally fine. And I think those people have a very, very valid point. Honestly, that's like one of the staples or one of the principles of investing in general is, there's a saying that's like people say, hey, I'd rather be late than wrong. And that does make sense because you don't want to be wrong. Being wrong is losing money. But I think in this instance, I'm not really worried about being wrong because cases have such insane fundamentals. Cases have really, really solid and stable price movement. And even if these cases take a long time to be discontinued, or if they're never discontinued forever, which I'm not really even considering as an option, I don't really think that's even possible. I think people are way overblowing and overstating the risks of that. Still, I don't think these cases would like crash down in price or, I would lose a bunch of money or whatever. I think worst case scenario is pretty close to break even, especially on the gallery case where you can get this thing for so cheap on third-party marketplaces. But again, Fever case, 11 million of these things unboxed in the past month is just absolutely insane. And the Fever case was something that strong of unboxing numbers. If this thing ever goes discontinued, I think the price is going to go insane. Same thing with the gallery case. When you compare it to other cases that have been discontinued, again, being able to get this thing for like 50, 60, 70 cents. These are some of the highest risk to reward. Again, that doesn't mean there's no risk, but just the risk to reward ratios are in the right place. For me, at least, I'm going to be actively trying to accumulate as many gallery and Fever cases as I can at good prices. So then if and when they do get discontinued and the price explodes, I have a large stockpile of them so I can actually get a meaningful amount of money into them for some meaningful movements. Now, again, there is risk, but with risk, comes reward. No risk, there's no reward, there's no potential. So yeah, these things could be disasters. They could blow up in your face. People want to call it Paris 2.0, whatever. I don't believe in that. I think gallery and Fever case are going to be big money makers in the long run. And the fact that some people don't believe in them, the fact that some people have doubts about them, whatever, I think that makes them even a better investment. So yes, gallery and Fever case are both two of my favorite cases to be buying right now, and ones that I am buying a lot. Now, getting into some of the cheaper rare cases, again, cases that are under $1 and in the rare drop pool, the clutch case. This is up 15% in the past month, and this thing has gone absolutely insane this year. It's up 80%. Again, this thing was as cheap as like 40 cents. I remember it just being 40 cents forever, and I thought it was never going to move off that 40-cent price point. And then it started exploding in price. Clutch case, we got 629,000 of these unboxed in the past month. So yes, there is a very, very high supply of clutch cases out there. Yes, clutch case is not necessarily the best case in the world, but guess what? Not being the best case in the world or not having the best gold or whatever has not stopped any other case in CS2 history from appreciating insane in price, and the clutch case is going to be no different. Being able to pick this thing up for under $1, I think in the long run is going to be very, very good. And again, it is harder and harder to find cases that are under $1. We've seen all the other rare cases that have been under $1 slowly starting to creep up in price, slowly starting to break that dollar price barrier, and the clutch case I think will be no different than that. And that's another reason why I really like the Recoil case, right? Why I really like this case right here, the Snake Bite. This is the cheapest rare case in the game, and like I said, cheap rare cases don't stay cheap for long. They slowly start to gain in price, and same thing, Snakebite, yeah, it has huge supply, yeah, it's not the best case in the world, yeah, it doesn't have the best skins, yeah, it doesn't have the best golds, whatever, but it does have very, very strong unboxing numbers, sitting at 643,000 of these every month, and it's at a very, very cheap price. And guess what? It is slowly climbing over time. This thing is up 20% in the past month, and if we look at the last year, it's up 102%. This thing was 18, 19 cents back in the day, and people were passing up on it. People were saying that it was a trash skin, it's going to stay down, whatever. But guess what? From everything we see, that is just not how cases work. That is just not how they go. So the Snakebite might honestly be my number one pick for CS2 case investing right now. It's one of the ones that I'm looking at the hardest. And yeah, some of the ones for sure, these are the ones I'm considering the most. I'm buying Fever cases, I'm buying gallery cases, I want to buy clutch cases, and I want to buy Snakebite cases. I'm loading up on those the heaviest, and I do think, like I said, my time horizon is really like 3 to 5 years. I think 3 to 5 years from now, Snakebite case is going to be worth a lot more than 40 to 50 cents. Clutch case is going to be worth a lot more than whatever, 60, 70, 80 cents. And I think the Fever and gallery case are not going to be at the price points they're sitting at right now either. But that's just some of my thoughts and opinions on the CS2 case investing market right now. Overall, I think cases are an amazing investment. I don't think you can go too wrong with cases. I think people have been able to make money off any case because, like I said, case fundamentals are just so good that all cases, from everything we've seen, go up over time. So it's hard to get things wrong. So don't stress, don't worry, don't beat yourself up too much. If you want to invest in cases, just get some money in, get some money going. And there will be down periods. There will definitely be times where price crash or prices go, left, right, whatever. But if you look at a case and look at the all-time graph, generally they go up, and generally, it's pretty stable, and the returns are insane and the capabilities are insane. So that's why I'm continuing to dump as much of my money as I can into CS2 cases, and I hope it's going to work out for me. We'll have to wait and see. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then. Peace.